Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video. And yes, it is basically impossible to see me inside of this area that I'm in the woods, but I wanted to show you how to easily instant tame a queen bee inside of Ark Survival Ascended. It's a pretty easy strategy. There's a couple of different easy ways to do it. It's up to you, so you can do it however you wish, but there's a couple of basic things that you're going to need, and I'll show you all that and then how to do it from square one to the end. Pretty easy. So hopefully this video helps you out, but if you don't mind, smack that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. Now your goal is to get this beehive, right? So unfortunately beehives are typically pretty high up, and the best place to spawn them is inside of the redwoods. Now the redwoods is though it's a great area to go, it can be very dangerous. So sometimes the beehives are really high up, sometimes they're pretty low to the ground. If they're lower to the ground, it's much easier to bite them with a creature like a Rex or something like that. But either way, you're probably going to want something to defend you because of all the dangerous stuff nearby. But what you're going to do is pretty simple, right? So you're going to have to somehow destroy this bee's nest. Now you can attack it with a sword, but the bees are going to spawn, so you're going to want to be able to attack it with a sword quickly. Otherwise, the little tiny minions are going to hurt you. You can shoot it with a rocket launcher. That's another safe way to do this from a distance. But again, the bees are going to jump out and come after you. And then you can also use C4, but C4 is kind of a late game thing. But if you put 2 C4 charges on top of a beehive, it will destroy the beehive and the queen bee will drop to the ground. Now, the easiest method, obviously, is when using a tame, you just bite the actual beehive to break it. So how this actually works: breaking the beehive, because it has a total, I want to say, just go up to it so I can show you. It has a total of 5,000 health. You heard that little like squeak on the inside, like, no. Basically what happens, I'm going to gather honey just to show you. Those wild bees, right, those are going to chase you as soon as you either hit the hive or take their honey. Now the reason that having a Rex like this is super useful is because you can bite, and then you can kind of just destroy those beehives because they take so much damage from something like a Rex. Now you can see them hovering above. They will basically freeze you in place and give you the bee effect, which can be very difficult to deal with. And again, just not super easy. So hitting it with a Rex is obviously the best way to do it because you can just kill them before they have any damage. But as soon as you hit or take honey from that hive, it's going to cause problems. So the easiest way to do it is to use explosives before those guys even escape the actual hive. You can see them dropping out of the sky right now. They do that. They literally just slowly die over time. And, you know, it kind of feels bad. Feels almost like real life. But they just drop out of the sky and boom, now they're all gone. So they only have a limited lifespan. So what you can do is use your grappling hook to get up to the edge of this beehive, right? Now, once you get up to the edge of the beehive, you got 2 methods. You can either swing for them, which I highly don't recommend because you're not going to be able to really do much. But placing some C4 or using a creature is the safest way to do this. Now, we're going to go ahead and drop down. Do not blow the C4 up when you are next to it, obviously. And as soon as we blow this up, the queen bee will drop out. So we're going to go ahead and say boom. You can see that she drops down. They are not aggro to you because you technically didn't do any damage to her, and you just have to follow the queen bee until she gets low enough to the ground. Now what you're going to do, as soon as you see her, you are going to mash the tame button, which is E for keyboard. And as soon as you do that, you are going to basically get a hold of a queen bee because you just have to feed her kibble. Now queen bees will eat anything, and it's super useful obviously in order to do that. So you can just go ahead and obtain the beehive. And then what that does is it takes the beehive and places it in your inventory. Now, again, these are all ideal situations, right? So what you do, you want to have ghillie because ghillie protects you from the actual stings and stuff like that, and also hides you. And then taking bug repellent will make bugs be less able to see you. So those are both useful things. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you another command. If you use instanced foliaged, you can actually go through the actual woods and see all of the beehives. Now there's 2 right here, right? Now, so you can, like, they will happen where they get stuck inside the tree like that. Sometimes these nests will release a couple because they spawn on top of each other. But again, I want to show you why you don't want to hit this with a sword, because as you can see, the sword is actually just doing damage to the hive and it releases more and more bees, causing you big problems. You need to have a Rex or something like that if you're going to do it like this. And yeah, that's the safest way to do it. So as soon as I drop her, you can see that she'll drop to the ground. Where'd she go? There she is. So All right, guys, all in all, the easiest way to do this is to either use a Rex or something like that, because if you use your sword, it's going to cause major problems. They're going to aggro to you, and it's going to be not super fun for you. So either use a Rex or something that can hit it like an Argentavis, or use your C4 explosives, because rockets don't do enough damage quickly enough, and then swords are going to be something that you definitely want to avoid due to the fact that they're going to spawn a bunch of bees, and you're going to have big problems. The best way to do it is probably have two people, one person biting with a Rex and the other person ready to tame the actual queen bee, because the warden on the Rex is going to actually aggro all the little bees, and you can kind of just go up and then pick up the bee just like that. And simple kibble is the one that you want to use in order to tame this thing, but it's really not that difficult. Just finding the bees and kind of doing those little tricks that I showed you are what you want to do. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out. Other than that, Teach out.